Hi everyone, I'm Humaira, the founder of HM Accounting and someone who has walked a long, winding journey with money. Today I want to share something a little bit different and a little bit personal. And actually, I was in such a hurry to share it that it's actually bedtime here and everybody's in bed. And I just couldn't wait until the next day to get this out to you guys. So I'm going to get it out to you the same night that I'm recording this. So, what I want to share is, like I said, something a bit more personal to me. And it's about how I recently invested in myself and how the return came in a completely unexpected way. Because sometimes money does not follow logic, it follows energy, it follows intention, and it follows alignment. So I just want to give you a little bit of the backstory. Now, a while ago, I was in a season of when things felt tight. Business was steady, yes, but cash flow was very unpredictable. And on top of that, I had family responsibilities, studies, and the usual expenses that come with running both a business as well as a household. Still, something inside me said, you need to invest in yourself. So I did. I paid for a branding consultation that I really, really wanted to do for a very long time and that really aligned with my vision. Now, at that time, it's not exactly cheap, I would say, but the person that I wanted to do it with was someone that I completely trusted and that I knew was thorough and that would give me the results that I expected from it. And honestly, I was hesitating for a while to actually pay for this and to just take on this service because my logical brain was like you could use this money elsewhere, right? But deep down I knew that growth would require that shift, and not just in my knowledge but in my relationship with money. So here is the crazy part. I think it's about a week and a half after making that payment, and a few things came through. I had a free opportunity, which was a business coaching, a 2 hour business coaching that just randomly came through, right? The day after the lady had given me the whole branding guideline and all of that. This happened the very next day. Also, the very next day, I got a client referral and a new client as a result of that. And I think on the same day I got this brand assessment done, I got a very unexpected payment into my bank account. Now, I didn't ask for it, it just happened. And I think in all of this happening, today specifically, it was my moment of realization. And that realization was that money responds to movement. When we tell the universe or we tell ourselves that we are worth the investment, it echoes that back. And not always immediately, not always in the way that we expect, but it does return. So most people see money as purely transactional, right? But something I've been learning is to see it as relational. So it reflects how safe we feel, how much we trust ourselves, and how much we believe that we are worthy. For me, investing in myself was not just about learning, it was about breaking old stories that money is scarce or that I had to work myself to the ground to deserve it. And when I started to shift that mindset, I started attracting different opportunities. And this wasn't because I was lucky, but because I was more in alignment. Now, what does this mean for you? If you are holding back on investing in yourself, whether it is through education or your business or your healing, I want to ask you, am I saying that I'm not worth it? Am I trusting that money will come back to me? I'm not saying to go and spend recklessly. I'm saying be intentional with your choices. Remember, when I made the decision to make this investment, it was with the person that I really wanted to because I trusted in what the exchange would give me. Now, I'm going to share a PowerPoint presentation with a few tips, a few journal prompts, and just some tools that you can start doing right now that will shift your relationship with money. Okay, so I actually had to just share my screen quickly. And these are the 5 practical tips that you can do, right? Number 1 is track your money without shame. So without judgment, just look at your income and expenses and just have that awareness around it, right? Number 2 is name the story. So ask yourself, what do I believe about money and where did that come from? A lot of the times you will find that the beliefs that we hold on to or the thoughts that we are thinking around money are not actually our own that we are carrying, right? The third thing is to practice gratitude and generosity. So even if it is 10 Rand or a small amount, basically, give with that energy of abundance, right? And then say no to financial martyrdom. So, what I mean here is stop sacrificing everything for others while putting your own needs last. What I realized I was doing is that I was saving for my son for a long time, but I was just saving for him. I was not saving for myself. So I started to be very intentional with, yes, continuing to save for him, but also ensuring that I am saving for myself. And then invest in something small but meaningful. So this could be a book, a session, a skill. Show your mind that it is worth it, right? Without waiting for the right time. You don't have to wait to have a ton of money, but you can start with getting a book about financial literacy or booking a session with somebody who you trust to guide you through that process or learning a new skill, right? The second thing is some journal prompts that you can reflect on. So the first question to ask yourself is, what is my first memory of money? Right? Really sit with this, really sit in a quiet space at the end of your day and just allow your mind to take you to where you need to go with this. The second thing is, what belief about money keeps repeating in your life? The third one is, how do I feel when I spend on myself? I know for me, for a long time, it was guilt. I felt guilty about it, right? So, really get in tune with how you feel when you are spending on yourself. The fourth thing is, what would I change if I trusted money to return? So, that leaves a lot to your imagination, right? And then, in what ways am I already abundant that I don't acknowledge? Remember, money is abundance is not just money. Abundance are things like health, right? Having good health, having energy, having family that loves, cares, and supports you, having the same in a spouse, having healthy kids. It's a lot of things that is not just financial in terms of money. So, really dig into all the ways that you already have abundance in your life. Let these answers surprise you. You do not have to fix all of this overnight, but awareness is a very, very powerful beginning. It is also the place from where you can start acknowledging that this is where you are at and rewiring those processes, right? Now, if you are someone who sees money as not just a physical tool, but also a spiritual one, here is something to reflect on. Okay. Money is a test of trust. I'm going to say that one more time. Money is a test of trust. It is a tool that reveals our attachment, our fears, and our faith. And when we cling to it, we often push it away. But when we release it with trust, from a place of alignment, from a place of purpose, it flows more freely. And sometimes money comes when you are spiritually ready to receive it, not when we hustle harder, but when we surrender and trust the timing. When I paid for this branding service, I'm sorry about that. It's taken me a minute to switch between the slides and being on screen. And it's quite late too, so I'm not at my best thinking. But I just want to thank you for still being here if you're listening to me at this point. This is the beginning of the kind of content that I will be sharing because managing money, yes, it is about spreadsheets, and it is about having a system in place, but it is also about your mindset, your beliefs, your blocks, and your breakthroughs, and of course, your spiritual alignment. Now, if this resonated with you, I would absolutely love to hear in the comments which part hit home the most, or really just made you think a little bit more. Please do make sure that you subscribe, that you share this with someone who needs to hear it, and that you follow along because I will be sharing more stories, more practical tools, and real talk about money, about business, about self worth. And always remember, you are already abundant. Now it is just about believing it. Until next time, bye.